So Dermot, can you tell me of your favourite memory of your time at Renmore Soccer?
Well, I suppose I was 30 years involved with the club before I moved out to the country. Spent 15 years in Craigmore, but I have lots of memories of the Renmore Soccer Club in those 30 years, from being a young player back in 1973. That's when the club was founded, playing under 11, getting beaten in a final by Corrib Shamrocks. But I suppose my abiding memory, and the one that sticks in my head most, is the 96-97 season when Renmore as a junior side won the Connacht Senior Cup in a replay against Salthill Devon in Terryland Park. As a junior side, having won the Premier League locally the previous year, we were invited into the Senior Cup the following year, and we weren't expected to do too well being a junior club. But we had a good run along the way. We got through the semi-final on penalties and met local team Salthill Devon in the final in Terryland Park. That was another game that we weren't expected to win. Salthill Devon had a team full of stars, ex-Galway United stars, Kevin Cassidy, Jimmy Nolan and Mark Covey in goals. But in the replay, we scored a winner. Paul Langan scored a headed winner, and we took the Connacht Senior Cup back to Renmore. That's my abiding memory of that season. The following season, we went on to win the Premier League for the second time. Only the second time in the club's history. I don't think it's been won since. So that era, 95, 96, 97, 98, that's my favourite memory really of the club, because I was manager of both those teams. I was player manager in the Premier League win the following year. So great memories of that time, because we had a super squad. We had John Walsh was our captain, Noel Graney was his centre back pairing, and those guys were unbelievable characters and great leaders, and we had a team full of stars really.
So Dermot, can you tell me what Renmore Soccer means to you?
Well, as a young lad growing up, an 11-year-old when the club was founded, it meant everything to me. Back in those days, we had no PlayStations or social media or phones or anything. What we had was Renmore Soccer Club, and that's what we did morning, noon and night, was play soccer up on the pitch. And when we were entered into leagues, then that was a whole new dimension. We had games, we had training every week, we had cup games, we had trips away, and all of that growing up as a young lad, and even into adulthood, it builds comradeship, it builds friendships on and off the pitch. The club was really the focal point for a lot of our lives, and we'd go out of the weekend and have a few drinks maybe, but apart from that, Tuesday training, Thursday training, games on Sunday every week, it was the focal point of our life really, And looking at it now, I'm really heartened to see the numbers in the academy, because I know I was away from the club for a while, but I was conscious of the numbers dwindling in the juvenile side. I was looking at results every week, and I could see not too many Renmore teams, but it's slowly but surely building up, and now it's fantastic to go down there on a Saturday morning and see the number of young boys and girls running around there, and they will experience what I experienced as a young lad, a club that you love going to, you love playing the game of soccer, and hopefully in a few years' time all those young kids will develop into very good players that will go on to represent their club at a higher level, maybe, play for Galway United, play for Ireland, as they have done, as we have had players do in the past, to get back to that level. And for me, that's the key thing about Renmore Soccer Club, is that these kids have that opportunity now to go there every week and play their game and enjoy it, and get decent, good coaching, bring them on the game, develop them, and have fun at the same time. You just need to go down there on a Saturday morning and see the amount of fun those young kids are having from the age of 5, I think. As soon as they're going to school now, they're doing, back in our day they didn't start till maybe 9 or 10, but the younger the better, and it's really heartening to see the numbers growing again. Renmore as a community probably got old, and there wasn't too many young kids, but it's regenerating now. There's young couples coming back in, even in my own street now. I'm back in Renmore 3 years, and I see 10 or 15 young kids out kicking balls. So it's really heartening to see that, and it only bodes well for the future for the club. So in terms of the future, I always talk about the 3 Fs: football, facilities and finance. So in terms of football, I'd like to see the level of coaching be raised a new level. I know there's really good qualified coaches in the club, but can we get coaches to UEFA B, UEFA A that can direct football from there on? Facilities, I think the AstroTurf pitch is key. You know, we're struggling with weather in this country every year, and we have to go hiring Astros all around the place. You know, can we get an Astro built on site, and hopefully with lights as well, so you can use that from 9 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock at night at no cost. You know, we're paying a lot of money for Astro hire. You know, can we get the Astro in place? And finally, the finance. You know, I know there's a lot of good work done in fundraising, but to do all these things that you have in mind, you need a lot of money. And I know we're getting grants maybe, but you know, you have to do the fundraising within the club yourself, and you know, to compete with the clubs that have those facilities around the town, a lot of money has to be raised. So the future is just to see all those young kids, that 250 kids coming down there to an academy, you know, to see those kids reach their full potential, develop as players and as young people as well. You know, in a club you learn life lessons as well, but you know, that some of them go on then to play at a higher level, Galway United, Ireland, whatever it may be. So that's what I'd like to see for the future.